On the 9th of April 2025, the much awaited overhaul to the skilled occupation shortage list for the UK came into effect. And guys, I don't want to lie to you, just like everybody else in the UK and abroad, I was waiting with you. I was actually like anticipating these changes because I mean, I'm an immigrant, and obviously whenever changes are implemented, I become interested. It does affect me. It does affect all the things that I do in this country, affects my future, affects how I work and how I plan my future. So together with you, I was anticipating these changes. I was looking forward to what sort of changes have been made. Have they added other occupations, or have they taken off other occupations off the shortage occupational list? I've got good news for you, because more than 200 occupations are still on the shortage occupation list. And guys, it's important that if you're a professional and you're overseas and you're looking into relocating elsewhere, do stay tuned in this video, because I'm going to give you a bit of analysis as to what I think as far as immigration is concerned to different countries, because I've actually taken it upon myself to explore different countries, different immigration opportunities for professionals wanting to live and work abroad. I'll give you a bit of comparison and what I think, and share a bit of my personal experience migrating, because guys, like I always love to share with you, to say I tried 5 different countries trying to relocate, and I only became successful when I relocated to the UK. So I feel it's important that we always cross-reference, we always look at other countries and look at the destinations that we want to relocate to. So guys, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the industries that are topping this shortage occupational list that you could actually look at, because I questions that I do get on this platform and other social platforms that I am on. I always get asked to say, well, are engineers to the UK? How can I relocate to the UK? I'm a tradesperson. Guys, I'm happy to share with you that engineers, IT professionals, chefs, and tradespeople, the UK is still an option for you. But of course, it does follow the points-based system, whereby you have to fulfill a few things that they do consider, from language to getting a job, getting a COS, your skills as well, and you getting the actual job itself. So there is a lot of other things that are involved for you to be able to relocate to the UK. And guys, I feel like sometimes I do feel like, but anyway, I will do a few videos on the eligibility criteria, how points-based system for the UK does work. And also, guys, like I promised you, I'm working on a series of videos regarding IELTS. I did it, the resources that I used, because like I shared with you in other videos, I self-tutoring. I didn't pay anybody to do that for me, so I was self-tutoring and I succeeded. So I know we've been rolling out the Australia series. If you're watching this video and you haven't watched our Australian opportunities series, please go and watch them, because just like the UK, they looking into recruiting skilled labor from abroad, overseas skilled professionals. So we are spoiled for choice at the minute. We are spoiled for choice. There are other countries as well that we're going to be rolling out on this channel. So all the more reasons to subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss anything. A big welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Florence, and today we are exploring the changes to the skills occupational list, just in brief, to bring everybody on board into perspective with what options we still have as far as relocating or migrating for work to the UK is concerned. Of course, all these occupations that I'm going to be talking about, or these industries that I'm going to be sharing in this video, are guided by that specific industry. To say, suppose you're a teacher, these are the requirements for you to relocate to the UK as a teacher. If you want to relocate as an IT personnel, these are the requirements. If you're to relocate to the UK as a nurse or as an occupational therapist, physio, and the requirements. I will not be going into detail specifically profession by profession, but I'll just giving you a quick rundown as pointers to say it's still viable for you to relocate via these routes. The first one that I want to share with you guys, this one is close to my heart because that's how I came, but the one that they've specifically reiterated is the senior care worker roles, code not 6136. Guys, this one is here and it's here to stay. I've been asked a number of times after a video I shared where I spoke about a rule that was passed to say the UK is going to prioritize healthcare and support workers that came on a skilled worker visa and are already in this country but are struggling. Some of them have had their sponsor revoked and then they're struggling, they're out of work. So the government has given a directive to say sponsoring companies have to make sure that they have recruited people that are already in the UK first before they look overseas. A lot of questions have been coming up, and I'll give a bit of clarity now that the skilled shortage occupational list is out for 2025. The thing is, people can still come to the UK on a skilled care worker visa, code 6136. People can still come to the UK because it's there on the shortage occupational list. What they've done is they've said, well, there's so many people without jobs at the risk of being deported or sent back home. So give those people jobs. So what these companies have to do is they have to prove to say, we've advertised for jobs, but nobody is taking up those jobs. There are so many reasons why a lot of people may not take up jobs in certain regions, certain places. And I'll share with you quickly some of those reasons. I do remember when I was looking to switch, I didn't want to move from where I live. Partly because I've shared a video on this one again, because I live up north. Partly it was because of the cost of living up here. The other thing is, I've got my children over here and they're doing well and they've settled in the school that they are friends. So I wouldn't want to relocate elsewhere because that would disrupt my setup, my children, things like that. Also, my husband works where he works. So moving to another region or to another county or to another country that's part of the UK would mean I'm disrupting my life. So what that meant for me was I was looking at finding a job where I don't have to move houses, I don't have to move my kids' schools. I wanted to find a job here where I am, and thank goodness I did that. A lot of other companies may be operating in certain regions, may be having jobs in certain regions, but may still fail to attract the workforce that they require. So where they have actually put adverts and people have not responded, or in the event that they are continuously losing staff. And by losing staff, I'm not saying those organizations where staff move on or staff find somewhere else to go are bad employers. I worked for a fabulous employer, but what I was looking at personal development and growth as well. I was looking at what I want long term for my career. So that's why I moved from that organization to another. So where organizations are failing to attract the staff that they need for them to continue operating well, what they then do is they the authorities and say, we've advertised, we've got these contracts, we've got these jobs, but we're failing to attract the labor that we need. So under those circumstances, guys, it's possible for those organizations then to actually attract labor from abroad. So it's not like the door has been shut. No wonder why, if you're still wanting to relocate to the UK, I would still say do what you need to do. Work on your experience, work on your competencies, work on your skills. The door is still there. The options are still there. And guys, disclaimer, I'm not a recruitment agency. I'm not a representative of any organization whatsoever, but I share the things that I see and how I see things on the ground, and obviously from stories that I hear from friends and family and other people actually who are employers who share with me their experiences and how they see all these things unfolding. So the fact that this visa route is still there shows there are people that are going to still trickle in through that visa route. Of course, it won't be the same as how we came in 2022, 2023, and the years before all these changes started coming into place. I think I've put to rest that question. We move on to the construction industry. The construction industry is very busy at the moment. Remember, part and parcel of for the government that's in place at the minute was to ensure housing was working properly. So there's been a lot of talk about addressing housing issues in this country. And guys, they cannot do it without tradespeople. Plasterers, builders, carpenters, electricians, you name it, welders, tradespeople. The UK is calling. You could be a plumber. The UK is calling. actually there are companies, there are construction organizations that are actually sponsoring people from abroad to come and work in the UK. Of course, you have to have the right skills, the right competences, the right experience for you to be eligible for this visa in particular. If you're a tradesperson, I love tradespeople because my background is trades. I've shared with you on this platform as well to say I have got a trades background. So whenever I look for opportunities, I always look to see where else can my colleagues, where else can those that I used to work with fit in, because obviously they do reach out to me and say, Flo, it's possible for me to relocate to the UK. It just goes down to what you research on, what you look at, and which countries you're looking at. Obviously, I love to always bring things into comparison to see. It's like they have the same template that they do follow, these first world countries. They want the same things. So it's not like the UK alone is taking construction industry workers, but everywhere else, if you're a tradesperson, then you are needed. And guys, the UK is sponsoring tradespeople, construction industry. The UK is the place to be. Also, if you're a welder, if you're a boiler maker, if work with steel, then definitely the UK is another destination that you have to look at amongst other destinations. I've spoken about Australia. I've shared as well about New Zealand. And I know Canada also takes amongst other countries in the world that are taking. So the UK is another place that you can look at. And guys, another thing that I want to reiterate is the fact that all these occupations that we are talking about, I have got that the eligibility for you to bring your family along because salary threshold. All these occupations that we're sharing with you today actually allows you to bring your family. The other one that I want to share with you guys, IT and digital space professionals. Guys, do not sleep on this one because the UK is massively recruiting these ones. They actually have got a special visa for AI professionals. If you've got any experience or if you're a professional in artificial intelligence, then the UK is another place to be looking at because huge investments are being poured towards artificial intelligence. Guys, if you are an IT professional and you're thinking, I want to relocate, look at the UK. The salary threshold itself allows for you to bring your family and dependents because this is a big one. A lot of people, when they think, I want to move to the UK, all they think first is they don't allow dependents because they've been open about it, especially with the healthcare worker visa and student visas. But in other professions, in other industries, these jobs allow you to relocate with your dependents. So worry not, but start looking at organizations that actually are recruiting for this professional. So many big tech companies are operating in the UK. Some are British owned tech companies, so they want you to come and work for them. They want you and your family to come and live here. So don't sleep on this one. And some of the professions are software developers, code 2134, cybersecurity professionals, code 2135, and data analyst, code 3544. Just to mention a few. So there is so many. You could be a professional in a certain IT role. Just check on the skills shortage occupation list to see if you fit the criteria for you to actually apply and get your job and be sponsored to come and live and work in the UK. The other one that is exciting for me as an opportunity to relocate and work in the UK is the teaching profession. You could be a teacher, a degree teacher, and you are abroad and wanting to relocate to the UK. The UK is need teachers. You could be a primary teacher, secondary teacher, special needs teacher, or English as a second language teacher. Or you could also be a specialist teacher, especially in the STEM subjects, science, technology, and maths. Definitely look at relocating to the UK. I've never seen so many vacancies about teaching the same way I've done this year, and they've reiterated on their occupation shortage skill is to say they want teachers to come and work in the UK. And obviously the salary allows you to relocate with your family. So if you're a teacher and you meet the criteria, always check you need to submit, which board you need to register with, because this is another regulated profession where you have to register with the professional board for teachers. Definitely, if teacher, don't just think, okay, New Zealand doesn't allow me to relocate. Look at the UK, look at Ireland, they are in need of teachers. Look at other countries, they are in need of teachers. And one of the things, I love shared with you to say, I come from a family of My mom and dad were teachers by profession, so I'm passionate about teachers relocating as well. So I'll continue talking about teachers relocating. I'll continue advocating for teachers exploring opportunities abroad, because I know what it means. I know what they deserve. I know what they should be getting. So if you're a teacher and you're still abroad and you're thinking, I don't have the degree, but for me to relocate, I need a degree. It's never too late for you to go for that master's in early child education. Go for that master's in special needs education. Trust me, you will never go wrong when you do those things. It's called specializing. And obviously, one of the things that I always say about the teaching profession is technology may come, but it will never be able to replace a teacher in the classroom. So all these things are coming into play, but still, I don't see the teaching profession being taken over by technology as such. So it doesn't hurt for you to go on that 2-year course. I know teachers started really strongly coming to the UK sometime last year. And if somebody by then had enrolled in an early childhood degree, they would be in their second year now, towards finishing. So it's important for us to make those decisions. I've always shared to say it took me 5 years to relocate. In those 5 years, what matters is what is it that I was doing in between. So you could be watching this video and you hear this information. What you would then do, suppose you fall short of the requirements, is a big game changer. Also, I want to speak to, you could be a parent and you're wanting to relocate, or you're thinking, I'm too old for relocation. But look at how you're guiding your children as far as career guidance is concerned, pointing them in the rightful direction. We're not saying decide for them what they need to do, but point them in the day. Say, okay, these will be options. These are the professions that can give you options to do anything or to become anything in this world. It's very important that we look at the shortage critical list or shortage occupational list of each and every country that we would want our children to relocate to, or even ourselves if you're thinking, I still want to relocate. So that's why I'm passionate about teachers, because I know there's a few loopholes that they have to skip through. They are quite strict about some of the requirements to say, oh, you need a degree in this and this. It doesn't hurt for you to just go and get that degree and start applying, because I don't think this will go away. I know people say the same thing about the care worker visa. We came in 2022, it's still here. It was started in 2020, just after COVID, and it's still here. So sometimes you have to just look at things with a positive, optimistic eye, and trust me, when you do that, you will succeed in your relocation journey. Last but not least, guys, I've got surprise occupations that are on this list, and this one is just a surprise even for me, whereby there is a visa actually that's bringing artists, musicians, social media influencers, actors to the UK. Fine, I know actors have been coming. I know musicians through these visas, but I didn't know social media influencers can actually relocate to the UK, can actually come and live and work in the UK. So I'll share with you a few codes on this. So if you're an artist, your code will be 3411, musicians 3415, social media influencers 17, actors 3413. So if you fit that criteria, if you know anybody who does fit that criteria, then definitely share with them. Tell them to really give it a try. Guys, I've always said the world is going digital. I do remember sometime, I think a year or two ago, I was talking to my daughter. That time, I think she was about 7 or 8, and she said to me, when I said, what do you want to do when you grow up? She said, I want to be a YouTuber. That time, I didn't have this channel. You can imagine the surprise that I was on my face. I am that African mom. But guys, coming across this list, I'm like, okay, this is occupation. And obviously, considering the work that I do now on social media and creating these videos and creating content for you guys, I now see this is actually a full-time job, because it takes research, it takes time, it just needs to be there. It's an actual job. So if you are that person, if you think you fit the criteria, it's worth trying. Have a look into it, see what's involved, what you need for you to come to the UK as a social media influencer, an actor, or a musician, or an artist, and you could really see yourself in the UK. Guys, one of the things that I want to share with you as well, that I always get asked, is to say, I'm a waitress, can I relocate to the UK? Unfortunately, some of those professions actually are still not eligible for sponsorship. You could be an Uber driver, not eligible, delivery driver, not eligible for the UK at the minute. But these are the jobs that I shared in a video that I shared for Australia. Dama visa, the regional visa for allows some of these professionals to actually relocate to Australia. So have a look at that. It's not just about saying, oh, I'm this and that, I'm a bartender, but I can't go and work in the UK. Explore other options, explore like chips as well. You could really find yourself living a fulfilling life you've always wanted. It's not just entirely about the UK, but we are always on the lookout. If anything changes, guys, we are your channel of choice. Do subscribe if you haven't done so, because we will be bringing you any changes, any updates, any new information with regards to opportunities in the diaspora. That's what we bring it to you, because we believe in the diaspora journey. It changed our life and we believe it could change yours. So please, for those who have subscribed, thank you so much for being a huge part of the family. Continue supporting us, continue sharing our videos, liking and leaving in the comments all the content that you want to see on this platform in the future. That's all I had for you in this video. I do hope to see you in our next video as we explore. We've got a surprise country that we want to unroll over the weekend, so do stay tuned as we're going to be sharing surprise opportunities in a country that I know you never thought it had that many opportunities. But do stay tuned on this channel, because it's starting to get exciting, because we are not only talking about the UK, but we are now venturing into other countries. And if you haven't watched again our videos, the series that we did on Australia, please take the time to watch them. It could be where you are destined to relocate to. I'll see you in our next video, guys. Thank you and bye.